You're not broken. You're not crazy. You're human. And if you are living with a mental illness, this isn't the end of your story. It's the start of a real conversation. I live with mental illness, and I'm here to tell you, you can still have quality of life. You can recover even if you're never cured. You can live, and yes, you can enjoy your life. G'day, my name is Desley. If you are new, welcome. If you are a returning visitor, thank you for coming back. Grab a cuppa and feel free to stop and start this video as often as you like. Today I'd like to have a wee chat about how I live with a mental illness. Recovery does not mean cure, and mental illness is not the end. It's the start of a wonderful beginning. Let's get into it. So where do I start? I'll just give you a wee history snapshot. I have lived with the mental illness since my mid to late 20s, and my life didn't really begin until my early 30s. And I came to New South Wales, actually. I'm a banana bender, which is a Queenslander, and I was living without medication for quite some time, quite a number of years. And now there's always the argument, and it's a very contentious issue, as to whether to live with medication or live without medication. For me, medication, and this is just my story, medication for me has been a godsend. It has allowed me to have quality of life and get on with living life. I spent 22 years plus in the mental health sector and also in the Australian mental health consumer movement, and I was given a lot of opportunities. I've been very, very fortunate in my 22 years. I developed skills as a trainer. I sat on committees at all levels of the health services, and that's local, area, state, and also federal government. So I've been very, very fortunate. And I've been very, very fortunate to have a lot of people surround me with care and compassion and really encourage me along my journey in the mental health sector. I'm now living as a retired senior in the Australian mental health consumer movement, and also as a retiree in the Australian community. So what does recovery look like? As I said, recovery does not mean cure. Recovery is living a life to the best of your capabilities on your own terms, in your own way, and creating a lifestyle of your choice. Part of the recovery journey for me was learning the early warning signs for when I was becoming unwell. And would you believe, mightn't think it now, but I used to stutter quite badly. And that was a sign that I was becoming very unwell. Medication actually knocked out the stuttering, which was good. But then I had to learn all the early warning signals again. So learning the warning signs that are unique to each person is really important. Recovery is also about developing new talents and skills. We're never too old to learn. And it's really good. Like the mental health sector gave me so many opportunities to learn new talents and skills. And I'm very, very fortunate for that. And also becoming informed not only about your mental illness, but also about the wider community without overwhelming yourself in the process. And at times it did become overwhelming for me, but I gradually got there, and it was really good. And I'm still learning and still becoming informed as society changes and the world changes, and there's such a fast-paced world these days, that change seems to be happening nearly every day. So it's about becoming informed without being overwhelmed in the process, and that's really, really important. Weaving our life's mosaic can be likened to a patchwork quilt. There are many colours and hues that we make, some positive, others not so positive. However, like the quilt creator, every stitch of experience we sew creates another link in the quilt to create a beautiful and life mosaic that is uniquely our own to share with others. And I've been very fortunate, and I use the example of the quilt because when I was in the mental health sector in the Australian consumer movement, I and a carer who cared for a family member with mental illness, we spearheaded the quilt in New South Wales of the National Standards quilt. And every patch in that quilt was sewn by mental health consumers and carers in New South Wales with care and compassion to actually inform others in the sector about the national mental health standards. Oftentimes, we feel after an episode that we have to start back from square one. I can assure you this is not the case. We tend to take 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. Why? Because we have gained life experience along the way, so we can never go back to square one. This means that we are always a step further along our recovery journey than when we were before an episode took place. Today, I've had a wee chat about how I live with a mental illness, and mental illness is not the end destination, but a new beginning. I didn't gain mental health, well-being and recovery overnight. There's no magic pill that will say, yay, I no longer live with a mental illness and I've fully recovered, and it happens in 24 hours. It just doesn't happen that way. It took me many years to not only come to a place of acceptance, but also to a place of knowing deep within myself, I am Desley. I am a human being. I am not my illness. I am a person who has been very fortunate to have so many doors open that I would never have walked through if I did not live with a mental illness. So whilst it might seem that there are no doors for you to open, check out the windows. They just might lead to doors of opportunities you never thought possible. And lastly, if you take nothing else away from our wee chat, remember, you are not alone. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up, and it's free to subscribe to my channel. What strategies do you use? Please leave a comment below the video. If you have any questions, ideas or suggestions, please don't hesitate to include in the comment section below, and I regularly check the comments so I can respond to you. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day, be kind to one another, and chat to you next week.